Greetings, I'm Hondo, and this is my review of the Loe Sounds signature fuzz. The signal chain for today is going to be my Serek Lincoln into my Trickfish 0.5K into Ableton. Let's jump right into the Soundclips. So before I jump into the build quality and features on this one, I want to take a quick detour and tell you about Loe Sounds because they're a particularly cool company. I promise this won't take too long. So Loe Sounds is a company that's based out of upstate New York. It's a family business, and all the pedals are put together individually by hand, which is awesome. And one of the things that's super unique about them is that they use salvage materials for their pedals. So some of the internals are tested and salvaged from older pedals and older parts. And also the housings are salvaged too. To give you an example, there's a fuzz pedal that they make that's built into the housing of an Atari controller, and me being a video game nerd is particularly cool to me. And they also make a pedal that is built into the housing of an intercom box from Radio Shack in the 80s, which just looks super cool. Also, I had the opportunity to talk to Aisha Loe of Loe Sounds, and she's one of the coolest, most positive, like good vibes people I've talked to in the pedal industry. So when she reached out to me to test out this pedal, I said absolutely, I gotta do it, and I'm happy I did because this thing sounds sick. So like I just mentioned, the pedals are all built individually by hand, which is really cool. They're also painted individually, so yours is going to look a little bit different from mine, and I always think that that's pretty neat because you're always going to have a very individual pedal. The knobs on this guy are super tall. You can see that they have this like cool brushed type of finish on them to make them feel really industrial. Also, since they're kind of tall, they're pretty easy to maneuver with your feet if you have to for whatever reason. But they also are just hard enough to turn that you're not gonna like hit it and knock it by accident. Also, the finish on these is really nice. They have a kind of like a machined type of finish. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but that has that little bit of like texture to it, which is really nice. Overall, the pedal just feels really well put together. And also, if you're worried about weight, this pedal is actually on the lighter side for something of this size, so that's kind of cool if you're looking to keep your weight down on your board. So for the controls on this pedal, there's 4 knobs. On the bottom left, you have the loud knob, which controls the overall volume of the pedal. Then above that, you have the mids knob. All the way on the left gives you kind of a scooped sound, and then all the way on the right, you get a really dense mid-heavy tone, which is awesome. Then the actual tone knob on the upper right, all the way on the left, gives you a full response from the fuzz. And as you turn that to the right, it actually cuts a lot of the lows out of your signal. For a bassist, I probably wouldn't turn that one up too much, but there is a use case for that I'll talk about a little bit later. And then lastly, the gain knob controls how much gain you have on your signal, and this thing sounds good, as you heard earlier, all the way to the left and all the way to the right. So no matter where you put this, you're going to be getting a good sound out of it. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you've seen me already review several different types of fuzzes and distortions. And at this point, whenever I get a new fuzz or drive pedal in to do a review, I always think, okay, what sets this apart from everything else that I've played before? And with this pedal, this fuzz has a way of kind of staying smooth and under control while at the same time sounding kind of wild to the ear, that I haven't heard any other fuzz pedal do exactly. It's really unique and it's very inspiring, which to me is worth the price of admission. I found myself picking up this pedal and using it in situations where I wouldn't have normally used a fuzz, because a lot of fuzzes make you change your playing technique, whether it be for like muting or whatnot, and you kind of have to play the way the fuzz wants you to play. And with this pedal, I found that I was just playing my bass lines the way I would normally play them, and the fuzz kind of just like slipped in and sat on top of the tone and made it more interesting. And I haven't really experienced anything like that before, and it was really, really cool. And I found myself using this a lot more than I thought I would. So if you do end up getting this pedal, which I highly recommend, you would be surprised how often you're probably going to be kicking it on. Part of the reason why the pedal is so versatile, the gain knob, it doesn't matter whether it's all the way off or all the way on, the tone of the pedal sounds good throughout that entire frequency range. And the same thing is true for the mids knob. Even when you have the mids all the way cut out, you still get a tone that's going to cut through a mix. And then when you have the mids turned up, you get a tone that will still cut through the mix in a different way. So this pedal allows you to kind of manipulate where you want your tone to sit, while never sounding bad no matter what you do. So I mentioned earlier that the tone knob acts kind of like a high pass filter when you turn it up, and you're probably thinking like, oh, why would you ever want that if you're a bass player? And I think there's two answers to that. Number one, this pedal was actually built to cater both to bass and guitar. And I can see if you're playing guitar, the amount of low end that this pedal naturally has could be too much in some situations. So that kind of that low cut makes sense. Also, on top of that, there's probably a couple of useful ways you could use that low cut on your bass signal, especially if you're trying to get some more experimental or interesting sounds. And if you are someone that does bi-amping, this could be really, really cool. Speaking of which, the bonus clips are going to include something like that. I'm going to use my Damnation Audio True Bypass loop pedal to bring in some more low end and cut the low end off with the pedal. You end up getting like an entirely different type of sound, which is really, really cool, and makes me glad that they included this tone knob on here the way it is, because that's not a sound that I would have even otherwise thought to get. So this is super inspiring. Also, I am using this pedal with my Nordstrand Acinonyx bass. These two things like were a match made in heaven. They sound really, really good together. Also, I paired this up with my EAE ModelFET, which is kind of like an amp in a box type pedal. And again, it sounded fantastic. It's such a really cool combo. Hearing the fuzz from this combined with the drive of another pedal sounds really, really good. And then lastly, I also did a combination of my 3-leaf Octave, my Horrothia FX Type One chorus, and my Empress FX Reverb to get this really cool, like big, fuzzy, ambient type sound. I'll let you hear it for yourself. It sounds nuts. But yeah, if you like any of the sound clips, let me know in the comments. Let me know which one was your favorite. And here we go. think a lot of people would get some good use out of this pedal, particularly if you're looking to use kind of like a dirtier, fuzzier tone in a lot of different settings. I think this is a great pedal for that because it sounds good throughout the entire gain structure, and it does a really good job of pushing your bass forward in the mix without stepping on any of the other instruments. Also, if you're looking for something that's just generally kind of more controlled and kind of like smooth and almost like syrupy, this fuzz is great for that. You know, it's not going to do that, you know, crazy, sputtery, glitchy type of thing, but this will definitely give you kind of like just a thick, warm, real foundational type tone, which I think a lot of bass players could get some solid use out of. Also, if you're a person that's already got a ton of fuzzes and is just looking to maybe try something different, I think it would be great to pick this pedal up because odds are it doesn't sound quite like anything you already have, and it's probably going to inspire you to do some cool stuff, so I would definitely recommend checking it out. So that's about it for this video. I really hope you dug it. If you did, please do subscribe and hit the thumbs up and the notification bell to keep up to date on the new stuff that's coming out. I got a lot of cool videos planned for the rest of this year and like well into 2021, so there's lots of good stuff coming down the pipe. In the description below, there's links to my socials and also a Discord server. I'm trying to get a community going over there, and so far it's been really cool. I would love to see you over there. I also have a Twitch channel, which I'll put the link for in the description. And lastly, there's a giveaway going on right now. So if you're watching this video before December 1st of 2020, check this link right here to jump in on the giveaway. And hopefully you can win a cool pedal. But that is it for me. And I hope you are staying happy and staying healthy. And I hope to see you in the next video. Take it easy.